Hi guys, I'm going to try and do a short video on how to show you to take your 2D sketch from Onshape into Illustrator and then do all the things in Illustrator that we need to do to be able to laser cut and engrave everything. So this is my 2D model that I've drawn on Onshape, and the sketch that all of my lines are in is sketch 2. So I need to right click and export that as a DXF. And make sure that the format says DXF. And I'm just going to call it phone holder. So I can easily find it later. DXF, that's fine, that's fine. So just go export. That'll go into your downloads folder somewhere on your computer. And now I'm going to open up Illustrator. So if you don't already have something in your recents, so you might have to go to print up the top here, and then we want to change all the stuff about the page. So for starters, we want to make it millimeters, not points. And then if we just do a larger page than what we need, so for example 400 by 400 is more than enough space. And then lastly, we want to go to advanced options and make sure that the color mode is RGB. And then once I've done those three things, I can create basically a blank canvas. So once that loads, now what we need to do is go to File, Place. So top left, File, Place, and then find the DXF. So it's in the downloads. And then before you place that, make sure that this Show Import Options is clicked on. So then when we go to place, it should bring up this option. So make sure that it says original size, not scale to fit artboard or scale or anything. So make sure it says original size and then go OK. And then just click close to the top left, and then that'll place that DXF where we want it. So while that's already highlighted, so it's blue at the moment, I need to right click and ungroup that. Okay. So then when I click off it, it'll go black, but it means I can just select specific lines. So if you're clicking on part of your sketch and it's highlighting the entire thing, it's not ungrouped yet. So make sure that the whole thing is selected and you right click and go to ungroup. Okay, well, I've already done that for mine. So now what we need to do is change some of the lines to be red and 0.01 stroke. So that's for cutting out. And then anything else that needs to be engraved just needs to be a black, slightly thicker line than that. So for me, for mine, because most of it is going to be cut out and then there's only 2 lines that need to be engraved, I'm going to actually select everything. So click and drag, so it highlights everything. And then change the stroke to be red. And then the stroke thickness needs to be 0.01 mm. So make sure you type that in, make sure you get rid of everything that's in the box here and type in 0.01 mm, press enter. And then if I just click off it, it's basically a really, really faint, skinny red line. So obviously I don't want that to be finished because the laser cutter will literally cut every single red line. So if I leave it as this, it'll cut this into 3 pieces, which obviously I don't want. So now what I can do is just, I'm going to click and then hold down Shift. So I click on both of these lines that are in here, and I need to change them to be a black line and something like 0.75 points. That's not too bad. So they're my engraving lines to help me bend this into shape when I'm ready to bend it into shape. So for my design, I also have a line, like I'm going to bend it along here as well, but that's an obvious one because I've already got this little cutout bit of the triangle. So if I wanted to, I could draw a line. So I could use like the pen tool, for example, to just draw an extra engraving line. So like across the top and down the bottom. So as long as it's a red line, sorry, as long as it's a black line, then it will engrave on there. I'll do that. Now you could also add text if you're going to engrave the text, or you can grab an image off the internet and do an image trace and then place that over this shape that you've got. So for example, if you wanted to add like a pattern throughout the whole thing, you could grab something like a black and white pattern or something from the internet and then do an image trace and then place it on here. There's another video to show you how to bring in images and do an image trace, so maybe have a look at that if that's something that you want to do. But as it stands, this is like the minimum of what you need to do. So any lines that are being cut out need to be red and 0.01 thickness. Any lines for engraving need to be black and just a thicker stroke, so 1 point or 2 points or whatever. So because this is done, I'm now going to go File, Save, and then please make sure that you save it as your name and what color acrylic you would like this cut out of. And then just go Save, and then you'll have to click OK. And then that Illustrator file is what needs to be emailed to me when you're finished. So if you want to keep watching, I'm going to do a quick demo on how to bring in like a pattern off the internet and then how to do an image trace. So if you want to keep watching, then you can follow along with this. So I've already saved an image off the internet that I like the look of. So I'm just going to paste it into here and then, I don't know, copy the image and then paste it into here and then resize this. And then before I do anything else, I'm going to click on image trace, which is on the bottom right of the screen. And this is more or less a black and white logo, so I'm going to click on that. And then basically it's going to turn it into lines and solid thick lines and everything. So if it looks okay, I can just click the word expand. And then, yeah, that looks pretty good for this. So what I can then do is, again, resize it. I think I'm just going to put this pattern on the base. So when you're placing it where you would like it, it doesn't matter if it overhangs a little bit. The laser cutter will still be able to see any lines that are cut out, which might be behind it. So you can just place this picture over the top of it. So the laser cutter will still cut all of this, what's behind that, so that red line that's behind there, but it'll also engrave all of these black stripy lines first before it cut all the red lines around it. So, you know, you might want to put a little section of a funky pattern somewhere on your phone holder. If you want to put it on the entire thing, that also looks pretty cool. The other thing that you can do is add some text. So just use the text button on the left-hand side here. You can create like a text box, type in something, change the font, change how big it is, and then again, just make sure it's a black fill and a black stroke, so then the laser cutter engraves that.